Hello, everyone. Good evening if you are in the UK. Good afternoon and morning if you're in the US. Good morning, maybe if you're in Australia as well. It's it's very hot here. We do get this kind of weather, but this year it seems like we've gotten a lot more this kind of weather. I played golf today. It was crazy. 27 holes. I'm really tired. Hi, No. Nice to see you here as usual. Mike GB 1969 says, check out SmithKline Beecham. Yeah, they have a big site over there. SmithKline Beecham. Yeah, and what's his name? Dominic Cummings, when there was the lockdown and you're not supposed to travel, he went there to meet them. That's right. Probably about a vaccine. Billy, he's just behind me here. You see, he's in the middle of the sofa. He was over there and then he moved. He was actually outside because it's a bit cooler outside now, but I asked him to come in. So he is here. Billy, oh, he's just jumped off. So, yeah, he's not very comfortable on the sofa. It's a bit hot on the sofa for him. Not many people so far, 87. I guess I did start a little earlier. Hi, Bobby 8720 from Belfast. Yeah, nice to see you, Bobby, as well. Cupid Stunt, Billy Bully and everyone, greetings from Warrington. Thank you. Yeah, I saw, Rob, that's the title. Where the live stream about the deficit spending through executive order. I think that's a bad precedent. I have to give Peter Schiff some credit for that. He said, what if Joe Biden wins? It's going to get even worse. He's going to say, well, President Trump signed executive orders for deficit spending. Why can't I do it? Yeah, I think it's one of those moments, actually, and we might not see the consequence right away, but in the long term, it's a big thing. And they've used, of course, the crisis, this engineered crisis, to justify that. Gerald Fleming, you and George are excellent Sunday fare. You mean George Gammon? Yeah, my wife watches George Gammon. I watch him once in a while. Victor Claudio says Schiff crushed Rickards. I've had both of them on my channel. I've tried to get Jim Rickards back on, but he's been busy. I'm actually going to interview Peter Schiff this coming Friday, so that should be good. I'll probably upload the interview on Friday or Saturday. So I'm looking forward to speaking with Peter Schiff again. Alistair McLeod, Cupidson. No, I haven't heard back from him. I've tried to contact him through LinkedIn, through Twitter, but he hasn't come back. So Shane Sturgis is in Orpington. I know Orpington well. I'm from around the same area. Been living around the same area for quite a while. Yeah, so President Trump signed 4, I think, executive orders. One was to continue the unemployment benefit. That's dropped from 600 to 400. The other one is to send the payroll tax. The other one is to student loan forbearance. And the other one also to protect tenants from landlords. So I think that's really, it probably would have passed anyway if Congress could agree on it. But I think the fact that he signed it into law like that, uh, I've always known from studying history in school, and that it's the Congress that has the power of the purse, not the president. So I think that's significant. It should, I think, alarm investors, especially foreign investors who have a lot of dollars, Chinese included. Chinese own over $1 trillion in U.S. treasuries. I think that could be also used as a weapon, seeing that there seems to be kind of a new Cold War between the U.S. and China. But a lot of people think it's just theater, and I do think it's just theater. It helps the establishment, both in the U.S. and both in China, because they've got an enemy. When the public is not going fully behind the establishment, they always try to bring up an enemy. So it doesn't only help the U.S. or President Trump; it also helps the Chinese. Did you see Bo Pony on Greg Hunter? Made some crazy predictions again. Bobby 8270. No, I haven't seen him yet. He's been quiet, Bo Pony, of late. I'll have a look though. I know he does make crazy predictions, but I enjoy listening to him anyway. Dave Humphreys, good evening. Can't believe Trump gets away with his comments. Sack Media. Girl OG, there are recircle of 5-10 economies. People on any channel find new ones. This was a plan to avoid giving everyone a stimulus check. Quit addiction, high quit addiction. Congress would not agree to anything. They want the economy down so they can win. Partly, I think maybe that's partly true, but I think the other thing as well, Congress wants to spend the money differently than President Trump. I think that's one of the reasons as well. I think the Democratic House, they passed a bill in May for 3.4 trillion. So, and I think the Republicans are around $1 trillion. Christopher K. Precious metals are going gangbusters, but in a year or two, I believe farmland is going to go gangbusters too. Yeah, I think precious metals. I mean, of course, I've been covering it since I started this channel in late 2015, and we were around 1,050 back then. I think it's funny to say this. They're actually not going up. I think it's all the people fleeing away from paper currencies, just like Alistair McLeod said in his interview with Eric King from King World News. I agree with him 100%. It's not gold and silver going up. It's people getting rid of paper, because this inflation of the currency, deficit spending, is not going to end anytime soon. In the UK, they've slowed down a bit. They're saying that they're not going to renew. There's a lot of pressure here to renew the furlough scheme that ends in October. The government is saying right now they're not going to do it. I think this is just for show. They will do it. The Bank of England is going to cut rates to zero, negative. They're going to increase QE. So, yeah, all fiat currencies are sinking. I said that first in 2007 when I used to write for my blog. And the thing about gold is that you have to approach it as an insurance, as investment, as savings. If you approach gold, if you've never bought gold and you say, oh, I want to make a killing in gold right now, I'm going to buy it, and then it goes down to 100 pounds, you're going to lose money, because you're going to get out because you don't understand it. But if you've been in it, or if you only started but you know what it's about, you won't be scared about a $100 or $150 pullback because you know that the trend is higher. And Holman is having a sangria. That's good. Why not? I mean, that's one of the things right now that I think is important is enjoying yourself. If you are fortunate enough to be in a situation to enjoy the better things in life, enjoy it at home as well. Going out, I'm not really comfortable. We've been to one restaurant recently. It was all right. But yesterday, for example, I drove over to American Golf, which is a golf shop near where I live. And I walked in and they said, "Oh, you have to wear a mask." I was really angry with those guys. And the guys working in there were three or four of them. They're not wearing it. And I said to them, "Where's your mask?" And he said, "Well, we don't have to wear it because we work here." I said, "Well, so is the virus know that you don't work, that you work here, so it won't attack you?" I mean, it's crazy. I just hope that people wake up. I think a lot of people haven't woken up, unfortunately. Arash Jamaluddin, thank you for the super chat. The coming, yeah, vaccine is mark of the beast. No one, yeah, some people think it's more of an ID vaccine, right? A tracking vaccine, and it could also change your DNA. Well, I saw a doctor. I think it was in Indiana somewhere, or that he's developed some kind of vaccine like that to treat diseases that changes people's DNA. Let's hope that we don't get to that point. Tony Yanone, any pullback is a great buying opportunity. Yeah, but it doesn't really make too much difference sometimes in the in the real world if you buy physical. I think it's more an opportunity maybe if you're investing or even trading in the mining stocks. Physical, yeah. If it pulls back, yeah, it's a good opportunity as well. But what I'm trying to say, there's still going to be a premium there, and the premium might even go up sometimes when the market drops, because I think there's still a lot of shortages there. I mean, in the UK, I look at the different dealers and bullion dealers. Some of them still have a shortage. I see them putting adverts on Instagram, for example, asking people to sell their gold to them. That's desperation, I would say. Bernie Tomosites, thank you for that. Executive order final. I think it is, unless the Congress votes. I think they could. I'm not too sure. Someone might know better. Congress could needs maybe a 2/3 majority to negate the executive order, but I don't think so. I mean, executive order, the president signs, it's law. I think it's a really bad thing, executive orders. Yeah, Asia is going to open. Well, the futures market, COMEX, CME, they open at 6 p.m. Eastern time, 11 p.m. London. Yeah, silver is hard to find. I've heard, I mean, I've seen Andrew Maguire talking about that. And but the bullion dealers, that I look at, they still have silver. It's still really expensive, though. The spot price in the UK is 21 pounds, and you're paying like almost in the mid 30s, including the VAT. I know you can get VAT silver without VAT from Germany, but I'm looking at the prices here. actually got the window open because here in the UK, we don't really, unless you work in an office, there's air conditioning. But at home, very few people have air conditioning because it does get hot here, but it's maybe a few times a year. But this year, it's been quite, seems to be more, more happening more. No, yeah, 10%, $10 premiums on silver. Crypto has moved, yeah, it has. Yeah, I think cryptos, for example, I've always said that they're speculative and that you should put an amount that you are comfortable with losing like half the value in a few weeks, because we've seen before how Bitcoin and the other cryptocurrencies can move. But there are those who think, Bitcoin is going to 1 million. So let's say some wealthy individual has $1 million. I would put like maybe 5% in Bitcoin and the rest in the precious metals, maybe a little bit of cash. And if Bitcoin goes to 1 million, that investor, will do very well. So, but if Bitcoin drops to 3,000 like it did last year, yes, he or she has lost a little bit of money, but only 2.5% of his or her wealth. That's how I look at Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. The other thing that's the most important thing about cryptocurrencies, I think, is learning about them and the fundamentals, everything about the wallets, how they work. You really need to do that kind of work, because if you're not tech savvy, if you're not used to mobile smartphones or computers, I don't recommend you get involved in cryptocurrencies. And a lot of people over 45 or 50 are not, maybe a little older, but young people, it's okay, but they need to do their homework as well before they get involved. Gur Olgi, thank you for your super chat. Where do you think silver and gold going next week? Gut feeling. Um, hmm. Yeah, I think if I had to say, I think 2,200 gold and silver 35. There you go. But that's just my gut feeling. I mean, on Friday there was a pullback after the U.S. jobs data, but looking at the weekly and monthly charts, they still look really good. Gold and silver. I mean, silver closed around 28, and gold at 2,035. I mean, it's gone quickly. I think a lot of people are expecting corrections and pullbacks. You read a lot of articles from the mainstream. Some of them, I have to admit, are positive, but most of them are like, oh, don't buy gold. It's a really bad thing to do. So it feels a little bit like Bitcoin in 2017. And I have to admit, I was surprised myself how far Bitcoin went to 20,000. And yeah, everyone was calling, a lot of people were calling, oh, this is a bubble, it's going to correct. And it just kept going. Do I think gold is going to keep going? I think it will. And there's going to be very little pullbacks. Do I think it's going to do what Bitcoin did, go up and then crash? No, I think it's different because, as I said earlier, I think it's more the fiat currencies that are going down. And very few people understand that. They think that gold and silver are just mere commodities. They don't understand monetary history, that the period that we've been in the last 50 years is just like the exception to the rule. That's the way I see it. And hopefully a lot of you see it like that, because that's what I've been talking about for the last few years. Try to get some more questions. You can buy crypto on Cash App very easily. Gold and silver will go up and down. Golden Gate. Do you think the USA will be like Lebanon in the near future? No. Uh, no, I don't think it's going to be as bad as Lebanon, but I can certainly see a lot more unrest, social unrest. We are in the middle of the fourth turning. So yeah, but I don't think it's going to be as bad as Lebanon. But because Lebanon has been kind of a basket case for decades, I would say. I spoke to a friend of mine who knows a lot about Lebanon. I think he's been there many times, and he says they're very corrupt over there. I know there's corruption everywhere, but he said it's particularly bad in Lebanon. New Mexico, privateer. Hi, privateer. No says he'd feel better if silver and gold stopped climbing and would consolidate sideways for a few days. Yeah, I know sometimes that's the way the markets go. Nick from New Jersey, Nick S. Tony Yanoni or Yanone from New York City. Technologist Live, gold preserves wealth, but producing assets create wealth. Gold is a heavy weight. Of course, gold is money. So that's why gold is sound money. I'm not saying that it's not even an investment, really. It's a savings instrument. It's completely different from investing, I would say. And I agree with you. So there you go. Yeah, Pablo Pina. Yeah, and the thing about Lebanon, yeah, there I see. I've seen there's protests, and I made a video a few weeks ago about how the central bank there lost $49 billion, and their GDP is just over 50 billion. And I said, the currency is going to collapse, and it has. And this is not a surprise. What's going on there when you get a currency collapse? Same thing in Venezuela. And I think it could be coming to our countries in the UK, the US. But as I said, I don't think it's going to be as bad as Lebanon, but it's not going to be pretty. And I think they're going to use this crisis. They're using this crisis already to pass laws that normally you wouldn't be able to have. But you would, if we have a currency collapse and people are angry and going hungry, they can very well say, well, the virus has gotten really worse. We're going to have to lock down for a month, you see, or you can't do this or that. You can't fly over there. They're already doing it. And I think that's what they're doing. Basically, it's a cover for a big currency event. And hopefully we'll be okay. You know, the fact that we've been stacking, and if you haven't, I think you still have some time to do it. Bologna sandwich. Bo Pony says $60 silver by Rosh Hashanah, September 18th. Yeah, he looks at those biblical time periods, doesn't it? Well, it's possible. We've gone from 11 to 30 from March to now. And I remember the day it dropped to 11. I was able to buy some silver coins from Gold Investments. Everyone else, all the other bullion dealers were closed at the time because of the lockdown. They were still up and running. Where do you, excuse me, where do you see the price of old hammered silver coins. I do have numismatics. I like the old silver coins, and I went to Bromley the other day to see Peter Morris, and he had some hammered coins. I didn't get any. I don't have any hammered coins like from pre 1700s in the UK, or but I don't know much about them. There's all kinds of ratings, and you can get some for reasonable prices and some for a lot of money. But they're interesting coins as well. Yeah. So for my viewers in the UK, Mr. Morris said he got really busy one day. I told you guys about him, and he asked me when I went there. I think it was about a week ago, not to tell the viewers about him last week because he was going to go away. But I think he'll be back next week if you're interested. And you guys apparently cleaned him out of his silver. Dave Humphreys spot weekly forecast last Friday. Spot predicted 3,000 gold and 80 by year end. Yeah, and that's reasonable. There's another guy, Michael Oliver, is seeing gold towards the high 2000s. I've made a video recently, technical analysis, and I looked at the gold chart in logarithmic scale going back to the early 70s, and there's a really, really great trend line, like on the top of the chart, that comes right around 2,400, right around this, the next month or so, or a couple of months. So if we break that trend line, 2,400, and we're not too far from there. I mean, that's the other thing people don't understand. Well, many do, of course, but the higher the price gets, the bigger the nominal moves. Of course, percentage terms, it's not as big. So, a 20% move from 2000 is 2,400, which isn't really, it is a big move, but it's not like 100%, right? So like when you were at 200 and you move to 400, that's 100%. But now $200 is 20%. Hi, Grow Mechanic. Simon Haig, thank you for answering. Yeah. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, I agree with you. June 12th, 1776. I think Bernie Sanders would have been, he's probably very proud of these executive orders, I would say. Dave Humphreys, the thing about the inflation adjusted charts is that they use the government numbers. So I think it could be even higher. And I think the gold is going to be more linked to the Fed's balance sheet. Also, I've spoken a lot about the Dow gold ratio that historically it goes down towards 2 or 1. This time the inflation of the paper system, the credit bubble, has been so huge that we could actually see gold be worth more than 1 Dow. So we could go to, let's say, $20,000 gold and 18,000 Dow. So it would be worth a little more, or maybe 10,000 gold and 8,000 Dow, because there's quite a few cycles, people like what's his name, Michael Oliver, and also Charles Nanner. Charles Nanner is looking for, I think, 5,000 in the Dow by the end of next year. I think Michael Oliver 9,000. So yeah, that could be, gold could easily go to 10,000. I'm not saying it's going there this year, but some people seem to think that the move up now in gold is not going to take 3, 4, 5 years. Like, let's say the first leg of the bull market this century went from 2001 to 2011, around 10 years. And then we had the top there, and we went down to a low in 2015. And then it's taken 5 years to break the old high. And the thing is, the fundamentals are so in favor of uh, uh, the monetary metals, with all the inflation, all the money printing. That's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. So yeah, they could, these people could be right. And I have a feeling, if you look at the gold chart long term and log chart, we're nowhere yet. We're just starting to take off, I think, in terms of the price. No, just try to buy a kilo of silver on SD Bullion. It sold out before it could go through the checkout. Wow. Oh, the other day, I don't know if I did a video about silver coins, and I talked about how I was clearing under the stairs some of the stuff, and I found a box. I knew I had this. I'm not saying I found this and I didn't know, but I found one of these Engelhard, 50 ounces. That's a nice bar. 50 ounces of silver. You could really hurt someone with this. It's really nice and heavy. So 50 ounces is about, let's see, you divide it by 32. Or sorry, you multiply by 31. 31.1035. 100. That's 1.5 kilos, that bar, 50 ounces. I still got my old Hewlett Packard calculator. Yeah, it's 1.55 to be exact, Philip. Good evening, Steve McRae. James Samuel, probably 3,000, I would say, that the public would wake up. But I've had people that I know, like, for example, at the golf club, like last year, there was a bank here, Metro Bank, was having problems, and this older gentleman came to me. Oh, I've got these bonds. What should I do? I said, well, you should buy a little bit of gold. It's safe. And at the time, I think gold was under £1,000. Now it's almost 1,600. And he said to me, oh, no, that's too risky. It's too high. And he never did. So, yeah, when they wake up, it's probably going to be, and they start buying, it's probably going to be when maybe you want to think about, if you have, and I'm not saying really it's not a trade, but if you looking to do something, put that money, that capital to work, yeah, that's when you maybe start selling a little bit. But this time, I think I did a video last week and I spoke about Venezuela. I think this time you try to hold on to it as much as possible. It's not really a commodity bull market in the narrow sense of the word. I think it's more of a currency collapse. And when the currency collapse, you don't get rid of your gold and silver. So, but yeah, they will wake up, and they won't be able to get any. And I think their savings will be wiped out, unfortunately. I'm trying to warn people. I do it through my videos. That's the only thing I can do. June 12th, you're talking about Harry Dent. Well, Harry Dent said that gold was going to get to 1800 and then collapse down to 900. So I'm assuming he covered his shorts if he went short. MJQ, I have watched a little bit the PGA. I was watching earlier today. It's still early. I think I watched Tiger Woods play a little bit. He was out early. Yeah, I'll probably watch it a little later. I'm a bit disappointed at because I don't have Sky News, Sky Sports, but what I do is I have Now TV, so you can buy uh, the week of sports. So I hadn't watched any sports lately, and I bought that to watch the golf. And I'm surprised how political Sky Sports is. They had the leaderboard yesterday, and I noticed on on the leaderboard they had a little sign, Black Lives Matter. I mean, why is Sky Sports getting involved in politics? So I don't think I'm gonna buy again for Now TV. I'll just stop watching the golf. I enjoy it, but I don't like the to pay these people to do that. The problem is it's in San Francisco. I'll have to stay up quite late. I probably won't if I want to watch the last group. Pablo Pina, I heard it's already food prices in the U.S. are going up even more than here in the UK. You know, beef and like chicken prices and all the major food things are going up in the U.S. quite a bit. It's going to start hurting soon, I think. Uh, when I went to the golf shop yesterday, I wanted to buy some gloves. And they didn't have the one that I want. They had like a shortage. So there's a lot of things that I know it's not important golf gloves, but I think it's happening everywhere. All the shortages, and yeah, and I think they're creating the conditions for that. Yeah, Philip Parker. I'm not gonna uh, watch Sky anymore. I just think it's ridiculous that they have to get involved in all that. And yeah, yeah, it's like, anyway. But I will watch it tonight a bit because I paid for it, so I might as well watch it. Pablo Pino in Ontario expecting more moonshot in stores. Well, I've heard as well in the US, a lot of the packaging is shrinking even more as well. Yeah, and there at my golf club, there's some caterers. On the Wednesday night, we have a dinner after golf, and it used to be about £6 for a snack that they cook. Nothing fancy, but and they are in this scheme where they give you half price. But what they've done is they've raised it to £10, and of course you just pay five. The rest the government covers it, but that's only for August. So after August is going to be £10 instead of 6 or 7. Yeah, Derek Barwise. The thing that's most disappointing is that the majority of people are not questioning this and they're just going along. You know, I tweeted, I think yesterday or the day before, if you go on the UK government website, dot, gov.uk, uh, they the status of COVID-19, according to the UK government, and it's been since March 19th, and it's still now, is that it's not a high consequence infectious disease. So you have to ask yourself, so why would going through all these draconian rules and measures if it's not a disease of any consequence. And I tried to show that yesterday at the golf store to this. These guys are saying, "Oh, you have to wear a mask," and I showed it to them. Look, the UK government says it's not high consequence infectious disease, and they just like ignored me. They said, "Oh no, you're gonna hurt people. You got to protect other people. You got to put your mask on." You can't reason with these people. And I said to them, in Germany in the 30s, people did as they're told, for the good, the common good, for uh, and the individual was, not respected, and they were like looking at me, you know, didn't even know what I was talking about. Probably, I always bring that up. I always bring it up if people have a go at me about that. Oh, so the Germans also were following orders. Is that what you're doing? Andrew Vicari, thanks for the insight. Can gold and silver go beyond a reset and continue being insurance policy? Well, once I think there is the reset, I think gold will be, at the center of the monetary system, and we'll go back to a sound money system. Uh, but hopefully, the thing is, you can never really trust the bankers too much. So it's always good to have some, even if the reset is complete. Unless, of course, if you want to, if you've got an opportunity, an investment opportunity, like one of the other viewers said, gold is just money, right? It's wealth. If you want to create wealth, you got to put your capital to work. I think it will be a great time when the reset is done to put your gold to work. Of course, it depends. Uh, just look at it as savings. Always keep some, I guess. What is the mechanism to achieve that? The reset. I assume that's what you mean, Henny Boulders. Well, a reset just means a correction. It's a rebalancing of the financial monetary system. We've had since 1980 a massive increase in debt, a massive increase in stock and bond prices, paper assets, and all a reset is gold and silver going up to rebalance that. And why is that? Well, because gold and silver have been money for thousands of years. They are a store of value, stable store of value. They're real. It, basically, a reset is pulling, the froth away when things get too unreal, not real. Nick S thinks cash will be pulled out, asking if anyone thinks cash will be pulled out completely. Well, here in the UK, there are places where they don't take cash, but still a lot of places that take cash. I use both. Sometimes I do use my card, but a lot of places are still accepting cash. I think that would be a bad thing, privacy wise. It would be more leveraged, and banks will be able to, I guess you could do a run on the bank if you get out of the system. You got buy precious metals or tangible assets outside the system. So I don't think it's gonna. You can still get out of the system. I think it will be even more dangerous, the banking system, if we go cashless. I wouldn't. I would like, keep a minimal amount of, well, not money really, but capital in there, just enough to pay your bills. Brady Girding, America go to war to try and save the world's reserve currency. Well, I think if there is a war, at the end, America will have nothing. It will be even worse. I don't think that they will go to war. I hope not. John Mayer, Mohammed could be as late as February 2021. Oh, sorry, you're talking to someone else. Ruskov canceled his TV license on Friday. Yeah, I think we canceled ours 5 years ago. I haven't watched TV. I mean, I watched the golf on Sky, but that's streaming, and I paid for it. J J.K. Koh thinks we will end up like Lebanon. It's possible. Lebanon used to be considered the Switzerland of the Middle East back in the 50s and 60s. So there you go. Pablo Pina, I think that's a saying from Gerald Celente. When everything's failed, they take you to war. Gold standard economy in the US. Don't know what that means. Really? I mean, we don't have a gold standard. John Meyer, thank you for your super chat. You're welcome. Henny Boulders, too many people, not enough resources to spend. I don't think so. I think the world is really plentiful. There's enough for everyone. I heard years ago that if you were to put the whole of the world's population in Australia, you could give every family an acre and there would be enough space. So, all this thing about the world being too crowded, I don't think it's true. And resources, I think there's plenty of resources, and a lot of them are renewable anyway. I think the problem with the world is that we've been in this anchorless monetary system since 1971. And when that happens, people borrow and spend a lot. They borrow from the future. That's what the problem is. I think, yeah, if there is a monetary collapse and we reset, I think things are going to be a lot more sober. People are not going to be spending the future, because basically borrowing money is like spending what you haven't earned yet. And I think there's been too much of that. But we're not told it's because of that. We're told it's because of climate change, which was, I'd done videos years ago about that. Uh, there was a guy called, I think he was a Rothschild, and he and Maurice Strong, they started the environmental movement in the 70s, and they got the UN involved. So this is a banker operation, this climate thing, environmentalism. I'm not saying people shouldn't treat the environment properly, but I think they're exaggerating. 49 minutes, so still another 10 minutes. Brady Gurdy, if you had 10 ounces of gold and 1,200 ounces of silver, what would you do with 30,000 in cash? More gold. I would probably be getting some more gold, uh, and also, yeah, I think you got good amount of silver. Yeah, more gold and maybe mining stocks. That's what I would do. Listen to all, follow none. Girl, OG, I think that's good. Yeah. Yeah, you got to be your own man or your own woman, but it's good to, yeah, listen to all opinions. MMNO is going to go silver shopping. Yeah, it will be interesting to see how we open tonight after this executive order. I think normally you'd think you'd see the dollar down, gold and silver up, the stock market higher, but you never know. Yeah, hypothetical war. I think the war is the social unrest, really. Is within countries. We're getting some of it here as well in Lebanon, and we've been getting in France with the yellow vests. We've been getting in Hong Kong. So I don't think we're going to have war between countries. I think it's going to be more societal within countries. That's the fourth turning, I think. Uncommon sense. Perth Mint is basically sold out of physical stock right now. Aaron Razi, 48 ounces of silver can buy a brand new Volkswagen Golf in Venezuela. All right, I'll take a few more questions and then we'll call it a day. It's getting a little hot here. Billy and I am going to go outside afterwards in the garden. Check out Tony Heller, The Truth About Climate Change. Yeah, I, I forgot the guy's name. Is George? I think it's George Webb. I think, yeah, George Webb. I think he's dead, but he did a he was involved with these guys and he tried to expose them. George Webb. Are you welcome, Henny? Joseph Wiseman, should we take out cash coins from the banks, take out the system before? Well, the thing is, if they stop cash, and you have cash, what you won't be able to use it. So, what I would do is not have too much cash in the bank, but convert it to precious metals. But taking cash out to have it at home, if they're going to make cash illegal, is no point, really, is it? Because you're not going to be able to. It's going to be like the old Zimbabwe notes, so you can't use them. All right, everyone. Thank you very much for all your support and participation. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.